Hi, I'm Michelle Girard.
I'm Ross Walker.
Ross and I co-head Global Economics, and we're here today to talk about the policy response to the coronavirus. Let me set the stage by giving you an update on our thinking about global growth. We came into the year expecting growth across the globe to be 2.4%, and as we've all taken our numbers down, particularly in Asia, but also to some extent now as the virus has spread more broadly to the Euro area, the UK and the US, we're probably looking at global growth closer to 2%, perhaps even less.
And in terms of the policy response, we see some variation in the major developed economies. So on the European side of the Atlantic, we think fiscal policy will be doing the heavier lifting in the coming months. In the UK, we have a budget in early March where we expect a significant fiscal stimulus worth up to around 0.8% of GDP. But also in the euro area, we see national budget plans will be boosting demand in the coming year. Not quite as much proportionally in terms of the UK stimulus, maybe around 0.5% of GDP in the euro area. But that's where the main focus will be. Rate cuts may follow in the UK, but this feels like a story for the second half of the year.
In the U.S., the Federal Reserve is where any kind of policy response will have to emanate from, because with the U.S. elections in November, fiscal policy is not an option. And of course, the Fed has relative room to be lowering rates. The market has started to price in further rate cuts, looking at perhaps 3 rate cuts by the end of the year. We do think rate cuts are ultimately likely, but it may not come as quickly as the market thinks. The Fed has set a high threshold for further action, requiring a material reassessment of the outlook. And I think the Fed's going to need hard data to be able to determine what the magnitude and, more importantly, the persistence of the growth drag is. So we will see action, we suspect, from the Fed, perhaps not as early as March. Thanks.